will go ahead and I'm going to share my screen, and I am in our Madison Oneida Bosse's professional collection, which is housed right here at our office. So I logged in. You should be able to log in to you have logins, correct? To get in there to your OPALS. So once you're logged in, you should see this ILL tab.
Okay.
So there's a couple, there's a menu here with all the different options. And then before we do that though, let me just show you some documentation. Wrong one. So at the top is the envelope cover form, which is just that printout that you can stick on an envelope that says it's an ILL. I'll show you that real quick. I just clicked it. It's a Word document, and then it downloaded. I don't know if you can you see that Word document now or no?
No.
No. All right, hold on just one second.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all that is. If you need, if you happen to need some of those to put on an envelope, you can find it there on that web page and then just download it and print it. So that is that. Let me go back, share my screen again. And then this is an outdated directory, but it's still helpful. I don't think there's been a ton of changes. I don't know quite why it never got changed last year to the 2021, but it did not. So I will get it updated as soon as I have the 21-22. But basically, it's a PDF. There's Janine. It's a PDF with all 3 school library systems that are a part of CIDER. So CIDER isn't just the MO BOCES component districts. It's actually OHM, Oneida Herkimer, and Jeff Lewis. So it there's like 50 districts that you can borrow and find books in the CIDER catalog. So this directory has all 3. So that's the MO BOCES. That would be everybody's contact information, all the librarians. And like I said, it does need some updating, as you can see right here, Patsy. That's incorrect. That's Stokes. So we will get that updated. And then going down, it starts with the OHM libraries and then Jeff Lewis. So that's what the directory is. And that's right here. And I will update that as soon as I have the most recent. And then beneath that is our instructions for all of the different things that we need to do for ILLs. So request an item from another school. This is what Tessa said she is least familiar with. And that's the first tab. And these are just PDFs. So if you want to print these out to have, as paper copies, you can just download or just go right to print here and it'll pop up and you can print it. So, awesome. Or they'll always be out here on our website somewhere under CIDER ILL. So they're just tabs that go through each of these processes that we're kind of going to talk about this morning. So the first one is request an item. Do you guys have any questions before I keep going though? Actually,
No.
Okay. And then at the bottom here is another way to download each of them as a PDF. So no questions?
No.
Okay. So yes, so the first thing you might want to do is borrow an item from another school for somebody, yourself or one of your patrons. So you can follow these instructions. It's just 2 pages and it walks you through each step. So back over here in that ILL menu in OPALS, once you're logged in, you'll see the ILL menu. And if I go to my requests, that's kind of the first step for finding an item. What that does is it just opens up the CIDER catalog where, again, I can log in here.
Now our password's going to be the same as OPALS, correct?
I think your password should be TestPass. TEST. Yeah, TESTPASS, but give it a try. And if you have any troubles logging in, just reach out to me and we'll straighten it out.
Okay, thanks.
And I guess if TestPass doesn't work, try your OPALS password. I'm not 100% sure,
Okay.
but I know when the accounts are initially set up, that's the default is TestPass. So,
Okay.
so now I'm in the CIDER catalog and I can search for any title that I would like to borrow. And, you know, there's different kind of filters, but most of the time you're just looking for a specific book that you or someone else wants. So I don't know, we could, this is one I just borrowed actually. I think this is the name of it. We'll try it. I'm just going to type in the book title, hit search, see what we get. That's not the right book, but that's okay. We got some books. It's not the one I just borrowed. But anyway, so after you type in the title, and again here, you could say, hey, I want to search just the title field, the author, or any of these. You could search by ISBN, or if you just hit anywhere, it'll search for, it's kind of like a keyword search that searches across all those fields. So from here, you can then look down at the records. Sometimes you're going to get more than one holding record in there. So just be aware that even if you might see one holding record that only has like one copy, kind of take a look and make sure there's not another holding record that has more copies. That actually just happened with the book I had, which maybe we'll find and we can see that. So anyway, so you can see here what school library system it's at, what school district, and then finally what actual school building. So, and then this would be how many copies that they have. So from here, you can, whoops, going to put this over here. That'll make it easier for me. So from here, you could just keep, you know, we've already done this step. We searched, we found a book, and now we would hit request ILL. So if we found the one we wanted, so say we want this book, we'll just hit request ILL. And now we have to just fill in some items here. So back over to our instructions. Now this book I chose happened to only have one place it was at, so we didn't really get this. So we'll have to see if we can find a different one. But you can choose up to your top 3 responders. So you might want to choose libraries that are closer to you, or maybe libraries you've borrowed before that you know are really responsive to ILLs. It just is up to you what you want to do here with, if there's a book that's in, you know, 12 different libraries, where do you want to grab it from? But you can choose up to 3 possible responders to hopefully fulfill your ILL quickly. And then down here, you can, you know, put, if you have an expiration date. So if this isn't filled by such and such a date, you don't want it anyway, kind of thing, your name. I don't think you have to put anything. I don't think you have to put anything in the borrower's ID field. And then a public note would be a note that just everyone can see. And then a private note would go only to that, the responders that are sending this to, basically. So, and then as far as, you know, this little note here, to comply with New York State privacy law, you should never enter both name and ID. So you could put just an ID if you didn't want to put, say you're borrowing this for a student, you don't want to put anything identifying, but you could, you know, just don't put both, basically. And then that's it. You would hit submit request, which I'm not going to do because I really don't want whatever book here I'm on, The Pursuit of Happiness. But you would just hit submit request, and then that would go out to those libraries you chose to fill your request, and then they would see that in their ILLs, which is some of our next steps. So that's basically the steps for requesting an ILL. Any questions on that?
No.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
All right. And then over on the next tab, we have fill a request. So that would be where now you're on the other end. You're going to look and see if you have any requests pending that you need to, that people that have requested from your library a book. So back over, let me get off that tab. I don't need that tab. Oh, wait, maybe I do. And you can also do that from the OPALS menu. So ILL, it's ILL responses. So my request was our first one, and now we're in ILL responses. And now this is going to show if I've got an so no one's right now requested any items from our Madison Oneida Bosse's SLS professional collection. You may actually have some, depending on if anybody has, got any out there that you could possibly fill. So I don't have one, so we can't really walk through the steps there. So we'll just kind of do it on here. So it would look more like a screen like this, where you would have the books, and it over on the right, there's going to be a column that tells you whether it's an open or it's been filled, because, if they put 3 different responders and you aren't the first to respond, it would already be filled and you don't need to respond. So, and then once, if it's open and you click on the title, the ID, or actually the ILL ID, it's going to bring up another screen with details. And from here, you just can click on a fill button, which then brings up a pop-up window where you can scan the barcode or you can type it in. And then you can put a due date of when you want, it returned to you by, and then again with a public note and a private note. And then it says, if you don't put anything in for the due date, it just defaults to a month from the current date. And then you can get a print slip. And it's up to you how many of these you want. You want one to put in with the book that you're going to put in the envelope and send out. You may want another copy for your own records to know what you've sent out. So you can fill in the needed number of copies up here. And then in the loan list, make sure the boxes are checked, then click on OK, and it'll print out the copies of the print slip that you've requested. Print and close, and then now it'll reappear showing the status is filled because you filled it. And then after you have printed the print slip, the item is automatically checked out of your OPALS and a loan transaction is created. And so, your OPALS now, it should be on loan. Easy? Makes sense? Okay. Yeah. Great. Oh boy, I did not realize my computer battery might die. We'll have to fix that. All right. So then the next thing would be that you requested an item and now somebody sent it to you. And now what are you going to do with it? So that's receive a loan request. I'm going to just grab my charger for my laptop. I got my screen bright again. Okay, so receive a loan request. So you get a book in the mail that you've requested from another library. The first thing you want to do is you can add an ILL temp record. So back over in your OPALS, you're going to go back to that ILL and you just click on add an ILL temp record. And then from here, you would follow the instructions here. And you can scan or type again the barcode of the book on the cover and then click load. So what this will do is it actually creates a temp record in your OPALS so that now you can check this book out to whoever requested it. And then that's just some other instructions about, if you want to change the different fields down here. And then now you would go to your loans and scan the user's barcode, whoever you're going to loan this to. And that's it. You've created the temp record and loaned it. So that's super simple. And that is the end of that. So now it's just loaned out in your OPALS to this student or teacher or yourself or whoever. Okay, now return a request is now you're going to get the item back from the person that borrowed it. So you're going to go back over into your OPALS, go to ILL, and you're going to, whoops, request a return, and then scan the barcode of the book, whoops, and kind of, so you're going to, oh, you had to go to circulation, I'm sorry. Circulation and then returns, oops. Then you get the barcode, and then you return the book. And apparently you can do all kinds of things right there. Too many tabs open. Then once you return the book in your OPALS, then you're going to go to the ILL request to return and then scan the barcode again. And then if you're not already logged in, you got to log back into your CIDER account so you can click return at the bottom of the screen. And then you're going to get a pop-up window, basically, you know, click OK. And then again, you can click a print slip saying that it's a return packing slip now, and you're going to put that in the book and then put it in an envelope and send it back to the library it belongs at, the lending library. So there we go. All right, so we're to our last option here. We now are receiving it on our end. We're the lending library, and now we just got it back in the mail in our interlibrary loan envelope, and now we're going to return it. So now we are going to be back in OPALS on the ILL, and we're going to hit respond or receive. And then scan or type the barcode right here. And then you're going to get the transaction information about the book. And then you're going to get your CIDER login screen again, where you might have to log into CIDER. And then you're just going to click that, you know, you received the book back from the borrower, and then go through a couple other pop-ups. And then basically the screen will refresh and you should see a status of received, and you'll know everything, all's well in the catalog world. Everything has been received, returned, mailed, borrowed, read, hopefully, right? And all's well. So questions?
No.
That's really it. Unless you have any other questions. You know, the big thing I think is just knowing how to get here if you want to print off these PDFs for your records, or you know, just knowing if the time comes and you didn't print them out, where to find the instructions, just to give yourself a refresher if you need it. All right, well, that's it then.
Thank you so much. Okay.
You guys
All
have
right.
a good,
Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
have a good rest of the day. Okay.
Stay well.
Yep, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.